Peace, Chem family. It's me, Set, and I want to welcome you to today's episode of Self-Care Sessions with Set. Today we're going to be talking about cleaning your colon, and this is our first episode of Self-Care Sessions. It's something that I'm going to be doing to build community with those who I've seen have recently joined me here on Instagram. And I'm waving to you all. Hi, Kavaker, Lee Ann's, Carolyn, Me Black. A peace to everyone who's joining. Okay. So if you're new to my page, I'm going to introduce myself to you. My name is Set. I am a licensed registered nurse and a certified natural health and wellness consultant. Okay. I have been in the business of healing for about 15 years. I have over 15 years of clinical and holistic healing experience, okay? And I've been in the business of getting people results on their healing journey for 15 years. Okay, I say all of that not to just, run off credentials to you or talk about, myself or pat myself on the back. It's just to let you know that I am degreed up, certified, licensed, well qualified to talk about what I'm talking about. And that's important because today on Beyonce's internet, we have a whole lot of people talking about things that they really don't have any business talking about. You have a lot of gurus out there. You have a lot of slick talkers out there, and a lot of people get scammed. They find information that's not really helping them in their lives. And my goal is transformation. Okay. So a little bit of housekeeping. This is what self-care sessions is about. It's going to be a weekly chat with my community here on Instagram about any particular topic that I may bring up or questions that I've seen from you all, because you all do send me a lot of questions either in DMs or in the comments section. Okay. And I'm sorry if I can't wave to everyone in here, but I see you all. I see you all coming in. Okay. So what I will do 2 days before each live session like this one, and we're going to be going live Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern every single week. So 2 days before the live, I will post in my stories that we're going live for a self-care session, and you all will have the opportunity to type your question into the stories. Now, I want you to listen to the directions really clear, okay? Because this is important. I want you to type your questions in the stories, not in the DMs. Don't send me any DMs, okay? Because it's going to get lost amongst the other DMs. Make sure that you send it to me in the stories, and then I will answer your question on the live, okay? Okay. All right. So today we're going to be talking about cleaning your colon. And the reason that I bring this up is because I see a lot of people who come to me, or, I see them in other situations where they're trying to get some type of resolution about a health problem. And they always ask, what can I take for this? Okay. What is the herb that I need to take for this? What is the supplement that I need to take for this? And that's the problem. Okay, we're so willing to take something, but we're not usually willing to eliminate anything. Okay, so let's talk about what the colon is. The colon is the organ of elimination. That is the purpose of the colon. Okay, it is basically the endpoint of the intestines. Your intestines is your organ for digestion. So let me talk about what the whole process of digestion is. Digestion occurs in 4 stages, 4 distinct stages. The first stage of digestion is ingestion, and that's where you take the food into the mouth, into the alimentary canal. Okay? Then the next phase of digestion begins with the saliva in your mouth breaking down the food. Okay, so your saliva starts to break down the food, and then as the food goes into the stomach, it's further broken down. As it's further broken down, a process called assimilation and absorption happens. That's the third phase in digestion, assimilation and absorption. That means that whatever nutrients is in the food, whatever minerals, whatever phytonutrients is in the food literally becomes a part of your cellular makeup. So your cells are taking whatever is in there and it's now making it a part of your body. So when people say that you are what you eat, yes, you literally are what you eat. Okay? So the fourth phase, elimination. That is urination and defecation. Okay, that's when you urinate and you're peeing it out. The fourth phase, that's where a lot of people get tripped up because a lot of us are not eliminating. We are not eliminating. Okay, the average American has anywhere between 5 to 25 pounds of extra waste in the colon. Extra waste in the colon. Okay, that's serious. Why this is a problem is because once it sits in the colon and ferments, it actually starts to leak into the bloodstream. If you know what the blood does, the blood is the substance in the body that carries nutrients. It carries oxygen to all of the organs, to all of the cells in the body. Do you understand? So once that is contaminated with the waste from your fecal matter, this is how we start to have organ failure, how we start to have problems with every single organ in the body. The skin, we have women who have womb issues. Doctors are never talking to you about eliminating from the colon. They're never really talking to you about whether or not, how often you're eliminating. I hear people very often telling me that they eliminate once a week. We don't even know how often we're supposed to be eliminating. Okay? So, let me tell you how often we're supposed to be eliminating fecal matter. And I know this is a little bit of a touchy subject, right? I know this is a bit of a touchy subject. Nobody really wants to talk about poop, but you have to talk about it. Okay, you have to talk about it. Somebody got to tell you. So let it be me. Okay. So I lost my train of thought. Elimination. Somebody told me where I was. What was I saying a second ago? I lost my train of thought. Somebody leave me a comment and let me know where I was. There we go. How often we are supposed to poop. Thank you so much for that, K-Cool. All right. So if you're taking in 3 meals a day, for example, and you're going through that full digestive process that I just mentioned to you, okay? Ingestion, digestion, assimilation and absorption, and then elimination, right? You're supposed to be eliminating at the end of those 3 meals. So if you're taking in 3 meals every single day and you're only eliminating once every 3 days, once every 7 days, you can imagine how that 5 to 25 pounds of extra waste begins to accumulate in the colon. Okay? And then we start to see issues with our skin, where we have acne, we have rashes that are not able to be healed by any medications. You have problems with your hair, alopecia. You have even tumors and cysts forming in the body. A lot of people don't think about what tumors and cysts are. You hear people say F cancer. Cancer is actually something that's meant to protect the body, and we don't think about it that way. What's happening is that your body is trying to encapsulate waste that's in the body so that it doesn't infect other parts of the body. That's actually what's happening. Your body is encapsulating the waste to protect you. So you have to help yourself by properly eliminating on a regular basis. Okay? So let's talk about the causes of issues with the colon, and I'm going to talk about physical causes and energetic causes. When I say energetic, I mean mental, emotional, and spiritual causes of issues with the colon. What is causing you to retain instead of eliminate? Okay, so let's deal with the physical first. The first is obviously diet. We live in a culture of a SAD diet. SAD meaning standard American diet. Okay, it's a Western diet. It's not a diet that is normal and natural to indigenous people. Okay, indigenous people, we are natural people. We ate natural food. As we were inundated by foreigners, they brought their foreign processed foods. What do I mean by processed foods? Microwave foods, canned foods, any food that from its natural state was broken down so far away from the natural state that it is no longer recognizable by the body. Okay? Artificial foods, lab food, GMO food, microwave food, all of these things are processed foods. Okay, the more of that you have in your diet, the more difficult it's going to be for you to have good colon health and good health in general, because your body is natural. You are a natural being, and your body is only going to be able to recognize things that are natural foods. Okay. Also, a diet that is very low in greens. And when I say greens, let me specify, because I say this to my patients a lot in the hospital. I'll talk about greens, and everybody wants to talk about broccoli and string beans and cauliflower. I'm not talking about broccoli, string beans, and cauliflower. Most of the things that we eat that we think is vegetables, a lot of these conventional vegetables are overly grown. They're grown at a faster rate. They're grown and mass produced. That's the word that I'm looking for. They are mass produced versus greens such as callaloo that grow wild. Okay, collard greens, watercress, arugula. You want to get more of those green leafy vegetables. Swiss chard, kale. Okay? Get more of those deep green leafy vegetables. Dandelion greens, those that are bitter. In Jamaica, we have a saying, what's bitter to your tongue is sweet to your belly. What's sweet to your belly, bitter to your tongue. So things that taste good to you, to your senses, to your tongue, a lot of time it's not good for your belly, your colon, your digestive system. Okay? And the palate that you have where you think those things taste good, it's an acquired palate. You've gotten used to eating garbage food. You can undo that. That's why we do the 21-day detoxes every single season. Okay, every season we do a 21-day detox because it helps to reset the palate, and it helps you to eliminate those things that you've been taking in on a regular basis that's weighing the body down. Okay. What else with the physical? Lack of exercise, that's a given. We never really think about exercise in accordance with the colon moving, with you being able to have a bowel movement. But there's something it's called peristalsis that's happening in the intestines, which is how the waste is moving along in the intestines. Okay, that's the process of the waste moving along in the intestines. Okay, that requires us to move our physical bodies. So things like yoga, when you're doing yoga, you're literally massaging your internal organs. Those different flexible poses that you put yourself in, you're massaging your internal organs. I've had sessions where I've taught yoga to a group, and people expel during the sessions. People expel gas, and they may be a little embarrassed. It's a little bit funny, but it's natural. Okay, it's helping to move those things along. Any form of exercise helps with colon health. Okay, so people who tend to be very sedentary have issues with their colon as well. Okay. Also, those who have a diet that is very, very high in meat. Very, very high in meat and animal products, and very low in natural vegetables and fruit. Okay. Meat is a substance that takes the longest to digest out of all the other substances. So if you look at digestion time, water is the quickest substance to digest. It digests almost immediately into the bloodstream. Then you have juices, liquids. They digest pretty quickly, between 0 and 30 minutes. Then you may have fruit. Fruit and vegetables can take anywhere between 1 to 2 hours. Fruit digests a lot quicker. Vegetables, especially those that with a lot more roughage and fiber, may take up to 2 hours to digest. Okay? And also grains such as quinoa, nuts and beans, all of those, they take a little bit more to digest. Then you have milk and meat. Okay? Dairy products, meat, animal products, that takes over 4 hours to digest. Meat such as steak, chicken, eggs, those things take a very, very long time to digest, which means a lot of time they will sit in the colon and ferment in the colon. Okay, and that's when you have those issues of that toxic waste leaking into the bloodstream. So that's another reason that some people have issues with the colon. And I see this a lot with patients that I have in the hospital, those who have particularly heart issues, hypertension, those who have had cardiac surgeries, bypasses, grafts, all of those things. And I see it a lot with people who have diabetes. Those are the common illnesses that I see in the hospital. And whenever I look at the things that they're eating, it's always the same. I've never had a patient with these issues who was eating a good diet, who was eating fruits, vegetables. They usually have an aversion to it. They don't want anything with fruits or vegetables in it. They tend to have diets that are very, very high in meat and high in processed foods. So start right there. Okay. Also, lacking in water. Now, you can drink your water and you can also eat your water. What do I mean? So, water, you definitely want to have spring water, coconut water, and also natural juices. Juices that you juice yourself with fruits or vegetables. Okay. I'm not talking about those box artificial juices, them Tropicana juices, the fake juice. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about making your own juice. Okay, getting a juicer or a blender and making your own juice. Okay. Now, eating your water comes from eating foods that are high in water content. So that's usually going to be fruit, your watermelons, different kinds of melons, cantaloupe, your kiwis, your key limes, your lemons, any type of seeded fruit. I want to specify seeded fruit. Okay. Some of you all may know these things, but I find that I have to explain certain things because things that I may know, when I speak to my patients, for example, about it, it's new to them. So please don't feel any type of way if I'm speaking to you about it and it's something that you've heard before. I'm glad that you know. And if you haven't, I'm glad that you're here on the live to learn. Big Fine says, can you repeat those seeded fruits again if you don't mind? Okay, I'll give you a few different ones. One is dragon fruit. That's a great one. I'm looking at it right now because it's in front of me. You can have different types of apples. You want to get oranges with seeds. I've been looking into which oranges actually do have the seeds in them, because most of the time when you go to the supermarket, they have navel oranges. They're usually seedless. Do not get those. Valencia oranges will tend to have seeds in them, and sometimes you'll get those mandarins, not the ones that come in the big bag, like those little cutie ones. You get the mandarin oranges that still have the leaf on them. They generally will have seeds. Key limes. Key limes are different than the regular limes that you see at supermarkets. Generally, I don't see seeds in those limes, but I do see seeds in lemons. So I will go for lemons over the regular limes that you see in supermarkets. Otherwise, get key limes. They're much smaller. They're like the size of like a golf ball or smaller. Okay, and you may not find them in regular supermarkets. You'll have to go to a specialty natural foods market in your area. There's different ones in different cities, so I can't tell you based on your specific city which one, but you look it up. Look up some natural food markets in your area. Also, the red globe grapes. Please stop buying those seedless grapes. Please stop buying those seedless grapes. That's not food. That is not food. Okay? Buy the red globe grapes that have the seeds in them. Read the package to see that they have seeds in them. And sometimes if it's they'll have different types of grapes. There are ones that I haven't seen before, and I'll open one to see if it has seeds in it. And every now and then you get lucky. Finding grapes with seeds is harder nowadays, but you can still find them. Avoid the seedless grapes. They also have what's called swan grapes, and those are really delicious. They tend to have a thicker skin on them. They come in the green and the red variety, and they're rounder. They're rounder and they have a thick skin. You may get those at like your Asian markets. That's where I found them. So those are some. And if you want more, you can definitely pick up the High Vibration Nutrition book at kemeticwellness.com. I list a whole bunch of them there. And I also have an ebook on the website if you want to get that. So Dr. DRMLW. Okay, you're speaking in a different language. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're saying. And Blissfully Evolving says hybrids. Correct. Hybrids. You want to avoid those as much as possible. Okay? So that's how you eat your water. You eat foods that are high in water content. All right? Okay, so now let's talk about the energetic causes of issues with the colon. Right? So when we think about what the colon is, again, it's an organ of elimination, right? For people who have issues with holding on to things, meaning holding on to certain emotions, resentment, fears, anger, okay, tend to have issues with the colon. I'm being quiet for a reason because I just wanted that to sit with you all, okay? Some of you all may know somebody who's struggling with issues with the colon, whether it's colon cancer or something like that. A lot of times it's emotional issues, things that they're holding on to, okay? Holding on to old resentments, holding on to anger, not being able to let go of, not being able to eliminate. So they have issues with the colon. And when we have those issues that are not addressed, any mental, emotional, spiritual issues that are not addressed, we tend to eat foods that comfort us. And usually those foods are detrimental to the physical body. So the issue will manifest itself physically. And we wonder, oh my gosh, why am I sick? Why am I going through this? You should be grateful when you are ill, because it's an opportunity for you to heal something that you did not see. Okay? If you think about it, when things are in the energetic form, it's easier for you to ignore it. Sometimes things have to become tangible. They have to become physical. So they manifest in physical form to bring your attention to it so that you can heal it. Okay? So Big Fine says, this brother says, I grow my own navel oranges with seeds, but it's backwards. I don't know what that's about, but yeah. How you know what he said? What language was that? I'm really curious. I'm really curious. But thank you for the translation. I appreciate it. Big Fine says, what should we do about that? What should we do about what? What do you mean? I'm truly grateful for you and glad to have been able to join this live. Likewise, I'm grateful for you. Thank you for being here. He says, I took the time to read it and saw it was backwards. Why are you typing to me backwards? Oh, Lord. Brother, you really typing to me back? I'm not reading backwards on here. You crazy? Oh, my goodness. Okay. You better than me translating backwards. Okay. Big Fine says, what should we do about holding on to things so we don't have issues with our colon? Because I am someone who does hold on to things. Excellent. That's a great question. Okay. So now we're going to talk about solutions. And I'll start with the energetic solution since you asked the question. Okay. For those of you all who don't know, I will also say I'm not only a registered nurse, I'm an energy healer. I am a certified Kemetic Reiki master teacher. Okay. What does that mean? Reiki is the art of energy healing. Okay. It is the art of energy healing. So a lot of times we have things happen to us throughout our lives. That's part of the human experience, to experience trauma, letdown, sadness, violence against us, all different types of things. And when we don't know, when we don't understand energy and we don't understand how to transmute the energy, meaning how to take it and transform it into something else. Because we know that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. So it is the art of transforming and transmuting energy. It's the art of alchemy, learning how to take energy that was directed at you and use it for your own good, or to direct it away from you. Okay, that is what I teach in the Kemetic Reiki course. Okay, that is what I teach in the Kemetic Reiki course. Now, the colon is connected to the root chakra. If you are not aware of what chakras are, they are centers of energy in the body that are connected to our different organs. Okay, so the root chakra, which is at the base of the spine, is connected to the colon. So issues of the colon are directly related to issues with the root chakra. What is the root chakra? The root chakra deals with groundedness. That is our foundation. It deals with our sense of security. It deals with our sense of financial security. It is the area in our energetic field that was developed in our early stages of life because it's our foundation. So generally between the ages of 0 and 7, right? That's when we were able to form either a secure or insecure root chakra energy. So if we had issues, for example, of abandonment, if we had issues of not being protected by mother or father, if we had issues with finances, whether it was homelessness as a child, not being able to afford things that you needed, not having your basic needs met, you may still be in survival mode. So any issues surrounding your survival, your protection, and your sense of groundedness, your foundation, can lead later in life to issues with the colon. Okay? Trauma, things that happen early in your life, ages 0 to 7, can lead to issues with the colon. So I see a few more comments, so let me see what y'all are saying. What should we do about holding on to things so that we don't have issues with the colon? Because I am someone who does hold on to things. Okay, so as I said, that's something that we deal with in the Raseki course. It's too much to talk about in this particular instance, but you want to work on healing the root chakra. Okay? You want to work on healing the root chakra. And if you want to go into that in depth, I would suggest that you just book a session with me so that we can either do a Reiki session, an energy healing session, or that we can discuss what would help you. Okay. And Goddess Culture, Hetep Sinet, she says, great subject, Sinet. Do I appreciate that. Okay. So, energy healing. All right, healing the root chakra. You are going to want to do certain work around healing trauma. Sometimes that is reparenting, meaning remothering yourself, refathering yourself. That is a big subject, and that's something I have been wanting to talk about. So I might do that in the next live. If you all want me to talk about that in the next live, please let me know. Put it in the comments, and that might be our topic for the next live, okay? Reparenting, because that's a huge thing, okay? Okay, so that's the energetic areas when it comes to the colon. Now, the physical, what you need to do. I already talked about the food and I talked about the water, okay? Another thing that you can do is herbs, okay? You want to use herbs to help you eliminate from the colon. My 3 favorites, or I'll say my 2 favorites, okay? Cascara Sagrada and Senna are my 2 favorites. And I also love Circe, okay? So Cascara Sagrada is a bark, and these are all herbs that you can just boil and drink as a tea, and it will help you to eliminate. You should not be drinking them for extended periods of time, usually anywhere between 1 to 6 days max, okay? Depending on the herb. It's different for each one. Okay, so Cascara Sagrada is one that's great for helping to expel waste from the colon. Senna is another one. I have that on my website at Kemetic Wellness if you want to purchase some Senna. Senna is like my go-to when I want to do a colon cleanse using tea. If you want to take something internal, Senna tea is great for that. Another one that I love is Circe tea. Now, Circe does not have as much of a laxative effect as the other 2, but Circe is, if you're Jamaican as I am, Circe is one of the most common herbs that come out of Jamaica. Circe is like the end all be all when it comes to herbs. Circe is it, okay? Circe is a very, very common herb in Jamaica. It's a bush that we use for many different reasons to cleanse the body. It's a blood cleanser. It helps to cleanse the skin as well. If you have issues with your skin, a lot of women take it for their wound as well. Circe is such a powerful herb, and it does have diuretic and laxative properties as well. So those are my 3 favorites. And I also have Jamaican Circe on my website at kemeticwellness.com if you want to use it for when you're doing your detoxes. Okay, so those are some of the herbs. Now, you can use that whenever you're feeling like you have not eliminated regularly. For me, because of the way I eat, I'm used to it. I am conscious of it. A lot of people may not be conscious of how often they are eliminating because you're not really conscious of what you're eating and how you're eating. You understand? That's what the detoxes do. So the 21-day detox is going to be very helpful for you to learn how to do that, learn how to pay attention to those things. Okay, last thing when it comes to the physical is an enema. An enema. Fun topic, right? Okay. So with the enemas, that's something that a lot of men, for whatever reason, y'all have so many problems with enemas. If I mention enema to men, y'all do not want to hear it. You all will take the herbs sometimes, but you do not want anything that has to go back there. I don't understand. I do understand. But please, y'all have to know that if you are shying away from doing your colon cleansing work because you don't want anything up there, just know you are inviting more trouble later on. Okay, later in your life, Somebody's going to be checking back there for, you know, your prostate, or if you actually do develop colon issues because you refuse to take care of yourself. So better for you to do it than somebody else. Okay? Go ahead and take care of your colon and do your colon cleanses. Now, this is what I do personally. I personally like a coffee enemas. So you can go ahead and purchase yourself an enema bag. It's like a gallon size bag. About, it may not be a gallon. I'm not that good when it comes to measuring those things. It's about this big of a bag and this wide. Okay, you can look up an enema bag on Amazon.com. It's pretty inexpensive. You can probably get one for under $20. And what I do is I will get natural organic coffee. It's best if you get the coffee beans at like Whole Foods or something like that, and then have them grind the coffee in front of you, because sometimes the ground coffee, they can mix anything in it. That goes for any spices. They can mix anything in the spices. So it's better when you get the ground coffee and then have them grind it up for you. Okay? So you want to get natural organic coffee, and you want to make yourself a pot of water. Okay? A large pot of water. Boil the water, and it should be spring water. You want to use spring water. You can also use distilled water. I tend to use spring water. And then add maybe about half a cup of coffee. I kind of like it to be strong. Why not? Okay, I like it to be strong. So add the ground coffee, and then let it cool after it boils up, after it steeps, and then drain it. And then you're going to add it to your enema bag and prime the tubing till it gets all the way to the end. Okay, prime the tubing till it gets all the way to the end. You're going to want to have maybe hour to yourself, an hour to yourself at least, so you can do your own business in the bathroom where nobody's going to bother you. You're going to need some time to yourself. So you go ahead, you put yourself a towel down on the bathroom floor. You're going to hang up your enema bag as you prime the tubing. Make sure you prime the tubing all the way, because otherwise, once you start to put that into your rectum, you're going to open the clamp on it. All that air is going to go into your belly, and your belly going to be hurting you. So please make sure that you prime the tubing properly if you're doing an enema. Okay, if you all want me to do a video on how to do this, please let me know, and I'll do it, and I'll put it on my YouTube channel, and you all can check it out there. Just let me know. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. You're going to get yourself in one of three positions. You can lay on your knees, chest down, booty up in the air. Get yourself some Vaseline. Lube it up, lube up that anus, and insert the tubing. And little by little, you're going to open it up and allow the coffee enema to flow into the colon. Okay? It can be very, very uncomfortable. I recommend that you have a timer with you and you hold it, as much of the liquid as you can, up to 12 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes. And then when you really feel like you can't hold it no more, you sit on the toilet and you eliminate. So you can get in that position where your butt is up in the air. You can lay in the side lying position, either on your left or your right side, whichever feels more comfortable to you. Those are the three positions that I recommend. And that's how you do the coffee enema. Then once you're done, make sure that you've cleaned out the bag and the tubing very, very well before you've used it. And after you use it, you want to wash it very, very, very well, hot water, and make sure that it is dry when you're done. Okay, so I hope that was clear. Yeah, Big Fine says, okay, I never did an enema, but I am open to being healthy. I know a lot of men do not want to do it. A lot of y'all don't want to do it. A lot of women don't do it either, but I noticed that men tend to be more apprehensive about this one. Goddess Culture says, this is the one I need to know about. Oh, give thanks. Okay. And she talked about Cersei. Okay. Please address how to restore the microbiome of the colon after doing an enema. Well, you definitely want to hydrate. You want to make sure that you're eating good fruits and vegetables. You don't want to continue eating anything that is too heavy. So make sure that you are not getting into the meats and a lot of the things that stop up the colon that we talked about earlier. So remember, I talked about the digestive time. You want to eat those things that are best for digestion, the things that digest a lot more easily, your water, your fruit juices, your vegetable juices, your live fruits, live vegetables, after you do an enema, okay? What are your thoughts on food grade? That's clay. I don't know how to say it. Earth for detoxification. Does it help with parasites? I have not used it. I have not used it for detoxification, so I cannot speak on it. So I won't speak on anything that I haven't used, but I'll look into it. Okay. Okay. Are there any more questions? If you all have any more questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. Or if you have any suggestions, go ahead and put it in the chat. Because I see DRMLW. I'm not sure if I answered your question. So if you have a suggestion, go ahead and put it in the chat. Okay? I appreciate your commentary, and I appreciate all of you for being here with me. Big Fine says, when can I look for the video on how to properly prime the tubing so that I don't hurt myself? Okay, I'll look into getting that done for you as soon as I can, okay? Okay, you say your name is Mike. Okay, I'll call you Mike then. Thank you for your questions. Okay. All right, you all. We'll do this again next week, okay? I'll be here next week, Monday at 7. This was my first episode with you all of Self-Care Sessions with Bana Set. We're going to do this every week, Monday at 7 p.m. So look out in my stories for the story on Self-Care Sessions where you can enter your questions on any topic that you want. You can enter your questions, okay? And we'll either do a Q&A or I'll have a particular topic that I'm doing or a mixture of both, okay? Bara says, drop the herbs for detox, please. So the herbs for detox that I mentioned are senna leaf. You can get that at kemeticwellness.com. Cersei, you can also get that at kemeticwellness.com. And Cascara Sagrada. Okay, those are the three that I mentioned. And how many times should you be eliminating daily? I spoke about that earlier. You should be eliminating as often as you are eating because elimination is a part. It's just one phase out of 4 phases in the process of digesting food, okay? So whenever you are ingesting food, you need to be eliminating as well because waste is created every single time you're eating, okay? Linda says, dua for your thorough explanation and helpful information on colon health. I just ordered Cersei too. Dua, thank you. Thank you for your order. Okay, please do the live on reparenting. This was awesome. I definitely will. I'll keep that as next week's topic. And thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate it. And Blissfully Evolving says, will you save the live? I definitely will save the live. I will save the live. I may not keep it on Instagram. I may take it over to YouTube and just clip it up and keep it on Instagram. I'm not sure yet. This is my first time doing this particular style of lives, so I'll see how it goes. It's just my way of connecting with you all so that I can, get some questions answered and help you all out. Okay, thank you for being here with me, and I will see you all in the next video. My YouTube is in my bio. Okay, all my links are in my bio. Go to the link tree and you'll see a little YouTube icon there, and that's where you will find my YouTube. It's also Kemetic Wellness on YouTube. Okay, peace everyone.